The James Show Podcast.
They want to tear down City Hall. They're going to come up with an excuse for it. And it's going to be based on this study that they just commissioned yesterday. Our media partners, WFAA, had the report on this. And, oh God, this is so frustrating here because this is another one of those. This is a terrible idea. Everyone agrees, right? No, I guess not. In the news, they just pass along whatever City Hall tells them, like, hey, this is the gospel truth. No real critical thinking or pushback. They give 15 seconds in this package to the opposing side, and I think this is another one of those bad ideas that might come to fruition.
Dallas leaders taking a big step toward moving out of City Hall. The council directed City Manager Kim Tolbert to study City Hall's real estate value and economic development opportunities for a plan to be presented early next year. Now, those in favor of a potential move say this is just exploratory. The council facing more than $300 million in repair costs for that 50-year-old building. Opponents of the move, though, say the study will be used to justify demolishing City Hall.
Yes, it's exploratory. That's all it is. It's exploratory. Oh, BS. Absolute lies. You've seen this too many times. And if you haven't, hey, you know what? I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe you just started listening to WBAP Monday and you haven't seen how this little cycle works. So let me describe it to you. There's a 100% chance this report will come back recommending they leave City Hall. And then the debate's going to be like, well, do we demolish it and build a new one? And the report's going to say, well, yes, if you demolish it and build a new one, there's a great economic opportunity and it'll be so good for the economy and it'll revitalize downtown. And the word revitalize will be a big player in the news reports on it. 100% chance this report is going to come back recommending Dallas city offices find a new home. And we really have no choice but to demolish this old, crusty piece of crap building. I really despise this incredibly dishonest tactic. No, we just want to study this. How do we even know what's best for the people if we don't even study this? Okay, I'll give you 3 reasons why this logic about government studies is hot garbage. Number 1 is they don't really want to study it. They already know what they want to do. There's a 0% chance the people that want to move out of City Hall and demolish it are going to see any report that will change their mind. They wouldn't dare order a report that would come back unfavorable. They're going to go back and get the report that they pay for. So this study is going to be nothing more than government-ordered propaganda used to sell the thing that they already want to do. It's a public relations tool, and it gives the media the ability to look at the numbers. Well, this nonpartisan third-party independent study shows it would revitalize the downtown corridor. It would be an economic winner. It'd bring in $200 million worth of stop it. The second reason is this logic about we just want to study it. Never works in reverse. It is always, always, always a function to grow government, either spend more or have more power or do something that makes the people who are ordering the study more powerful. Do you think AOC and Bernie Sanders, when they say they want the federal government to study gun control, is because they want an honest answer or because they want to use the results as an excuse for the gun control policies they already support? So let's imagine this in the reverse. How come you never hear this? How come, hey, City Council, why don't we pay for a study to see how much we could cut in taxes if we eliminated DART? Why don't we pay for a study to see how many people actually use this stupid bike lane over here on Houston Avenue next to the American Airlines Center? You want to do a study for that? Oh, no, only on the study on the things that violate my principles and good governance. Great. Why don't we pay for a study to see how things would improve if we didn't allow women to vote? Oh, I just want to study it. I just want to find out. I just want to know. No, you wouldn't even allow that. So it's not just a study. And the third reason why these studies are always hot garbage is they're always wrong. Now, you're not going to know that now. You're not going to know that for 5, 10, sometimes 20 years. But a great example is look at the studies that were used to sell DART to the taxpayers in North Texas, to the voters in North Texas in 1983 when they voted for DART. Everything in their studies was wrong. I've gone back and looked at it. We've talked about it on the show. We've had the reporter who was in the public debates against the beginning of DART in 1983. The ridership estimates in their studies were wrong. Their cost estimates in the study were wrong. The economic impact estimates were wrong. The traffic congestion estimates were wrong. The miles of track we would have by 2025, those estimates were wrong. The prediction that DART would never take on debt was wrong. The estimates on how much the fares would cover was wrong. I mean, everything was wrong, except for the color of the trains is going to be yellow. I think that's the only thing that turned out to be true in 2025. Now, the nice guy in me says we should just look at that terrible example, learn from it, and never fall for this garbage again. The not so nice guy in me says whoever put out that study, they need to be jailed for fraud. There should be consequences, legal consequences for lying to the taxpayers. Now, I don't know if there was bad intent. I would like to have a trial there because it's either they're frauds or they're really, really, really bad at their jobs. All they did was help sell a lie. That's how you got DART passed. Here we are still dealing with it now. That's what they're going to do here. 100%. Look what the mayor himself had to say about it. It sounds like he's already signed on to this. Like it's already a done deal. He expects this to happen. He wants it to happen. What do they know that we don't? Because the real answer, like, oh, this old building, this 49-year-old building, it's so terrible. It's not even usable anymore. No one's believing that. Who's paying you? How much are you making off this? Why would you do this? How does this benefit you? Is it the donors? Is it the real estate developers? Who is it? What is it? Who's paying you? Because this makes no sense.
A few blocks away, we also have to decide the future of Dallas City Hall. This matter deserves an open and honest public discussion that leads us to a realistic plan. A plan that looks to the future and seeks to solve problems and not simply admire them. While we still have much to understand and analyze, I do want to say this. Buildings are meant for people. Downtowns are meant for people. City Hall, as it stands today, is not a user-friendly building for people, and it risks becoming an albatross for our city. Whatever the intentions of a famous architect, it has become a massive symbol of a Byzantine bureaucracy that is stuck in the past and falling apart. Its shortcomings masked by a brutalist facade. As a workplace for city employees and as a gathering place for the public, it's clearly failing. If the city government remains in the building, something has to change. If we decide to move on and modernize, something has to change. The status quo is not acceptable, and choices must be made.
So let's talk about this building here. It just opened in 1978. It's a year younger than me. But at the time, when they built this building, wasn't there people like the city councilman we have now, like the mayor we have now, telling you this is the design that we need? Didn't they look at the design and be like, yeah, this will accommodate our offices and our needs as a city government going forward? Yes, we approved. We signed off on it. How could it all of a sudden not work for the city to be the center of city government anymore? I understand the city has grown, but they're not saying we need to expand City Hall or we need to maybe lease some additional space in this building across the street or around the corner or whatever. They're saying this building is trash and we need to tear it down. I do not buy it. Something is going on here. A 47-year-old building is not past its useful lifespan. A 47-year-old building. This is the confounding thing about the people who are in city government or state government or just any kind of government. For some buildings, if they're older than 47 years, well, you can't tear it down. It's a historical monument. We've got to do preservation. That would be gentrification even. No, you need to preserve the historic natural character of the neighborhood and restore old buildings. They'll spend millions of your dollars to restore old buildings that really are past their useful date. So there's this magical middle spot where a building is obviously new or new enough that it shouldn't be torn down. And if a building is so old, it shouldn't be torn down. So I guess if it's 47 years old, that's cool. That's the little hole in the donut here where y'all finally support tearing down a building. There's something fishy going on here. I would like for someone to get to the bottom of it. And you're like, James, why don't you get to the bottom of it? What are you want me to go through their tax documents I'm not a forensic accountant. But for the media that's over there saying, oh, yeah, hey, this sounds like a good idea. And, this is a pretty old building. Wow, it's just got so many problems. It would be economically smart to do so. Just parroting the press releases that come from the powers that be in City Hall. Why don't you go investigate and find out why they are lying to our face about this? Have these studies ever been right? They just voted, if you're just joining us, City Hall voted yesterday to study the idea of moving city offices and tearing down City Hall. Yeah, we just want to study it. Are these studies ever right? Were the studies right about DART? Remember a few years ago, one of my favorite stories about downtown Dallas and their genius studies is the studies that's like, here's what we need. In the Trinity River, we'll build some artificial rapids and we'll have people tube down it. That'll be a big hit. Was that a big hit, or did that just last like a few days before it collapsed on its face? The people that did that study, did they get any negative consequences? Did they still get paid in full? Did someone even get a refund from them? Because I'd be charging them with fraud. And it was so bad. Like, you remember how dumb that idea was? And you even thought so? And you thought, who could be in favor of this? Boy, this is really going to fail. How is it that you know better than the people who are going to get millions of your taxpayer dollars to study this? This is their job to study this. How come they keep getting it right and you get it wrong? And this isn't even your job. You have your own little specialty. You're a mechanic, or you work in sales. I don't know what you do, but you're better at figuring out these very important, very expensive economic boo-boos than the people who are paid to do so. This is John in Dallas. You're on WBAP. Hey, John.
Hey there. I had an idea. I don't know if it would work or not, but what if we got it declared a historical building? I think the criteria has to be that it's like 50 years old, and it has to have like significant architectural significance. God, I feel like it maybe meets a couple of those. Then it would be like impossible for them to do it, right?
I guess. Don't they have to decide that, though? Don't they get to decide what is and what isn't a historic monument or preservation or whatever?
I think it's at a state level, or maybe even a federal level.
Maybe we should. I don't know. I like the way your brain thinks, John, because now you're using their ridiculous, restrictive, fascist economic methods against them. I like the sound of that, John. That gives me a little ray of hope. Look into it and call me back or send me an email. Let me know.
All right, we'll do. All
right, thank you. John in Dallas, working on solutions already. Look at that. But so many people think this is a good idea. The mayor was speaking in favor of it in his State of the City address this morning. Most of the city council, all but 3 people on the city council, are for this. I'm sure the developers and the real estate people and the big money movers are in favor of this as well, because they get to either be the guy that tear it down or build the new thing, or get the lease for the new offices or whoever. It's a terrible idea. If you're just joining us, I can get you all caught up. Here's WFAA on the city council meeting yesterday.
Dallas leaders taking a big step toward moving out of City Hall. The council directed city manager Kim Tolbert to study City Hall's real estate value and economic development opportunities for a plan to be presented early next year. Now, those in favor of a potential move say this is just exploratory. The council facing more than $300 million in repair costs for that 50-year-old building. Opponents of the move, though, say the study will be used to justify demolishing City Hall.
No, thanks for that one little sentence of pushback there. But yeah, of course, this study is going to come back and say exactly what they want it to say. We've got to get rid of City Hall. It's beyond repair. It'll be an economic development boost. 100% chance the study's going to agree with these people. And it's not real. Diane in Seagoville, you're on WBAP.
Well, hello there. Just a comment. Back then when those buildings were built, they were built by qualified masonry that put that stuff together. No, it doesn't need to be demolished. Maybe some upgrades if they want to do that. But all of our cities, even out here, they take away the heritage of the city.
I'm not too worried about heritage. I'm worried about the economic stupidity of the move.
Well, yes, and why can't it's built very well? Do they go into that part of it?
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on how well it's built. However, if it is built real shoddy and it's only 47 years old and it deserves to be torn down, then whoever built that building or whoever approved it, they need to go to jail. Whoever the contractor was who did the terrible work needs to go to jail. I bet you're right, though.
Wait. I didn't know terrible work was done already.
No, I'm just saying.
We're talking about if it was built in 47.
No. It's 47. Well. It's 47 years old.
47 years old.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're saying 47 years ago there wasn't good quality carpenters and masonry people that put it up.
Yeah, in 1978.
And besides the shape of it, what about the architect that drew it?
Dude, I think the building's just fine. I see this as another.
Where are you from, James?
What?
Oh my gosh, where do you live? My goodness.
You don't like the city? You don't like City Hall downtown?
Yes, I don't want it down.
That's what I said. I think we agree on this, Diane.
Oh, well, it didn't sound. I don't know. My mind's going crazy then. All right. Gotta go.
No, we agree. We're friends. It works. Mike in Fort Worth, you're on WBAP. Hey, Mike.
So go along with your thought about the economics part of it. Where's all the maintenance roads? How come the city inspectors didn't catch these problems? I've been a contractor off and on for many years, and if you don't have all your P's and Q's in the right place, they really shut you down. This should have been done a long time ago.
Well, my brother-in-law is a general contractor, and he would just barf at the irony of the people who go out and inspect your buildings and make sure they're all up to code and all your maintenance is up to date. Now they're going to turn around and tell us, well, the maintenance has been so neglected on this building over the last 4 decades that it's not even usable anymore. Somebody, if that's the case, somebody needs to go to jail.
They're the ones that need to be held accountable. Exactly.
They just want to tear it down so they can spend the money or get the donations or get the kickbacks or whatever. This isn't on the up and up. Logically speaking, this is a terrible, terrible idea. Gary in Newark, you're on WBAP.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call there, James. It's all about the money. I understand last week that they said that the Dallas Stars was interested in the property if they give it up. So that's where it's all about the money. You know, if all of a sudden there's a lot of money involved, then the property is no good any longer. The building is no good. I went to a school over in Fort Worth that it's 112 years old, and they're still using it, and it's fine. You know, what the heck is the difference? You know, but the man called earlier said about putting it on a historical site. The city's they put those on, and they can take it off. We had Farrington Field in Fort Worth, the big football field. The developer offered them a whole lot of money for it. Well, the restrooms are bad, and it's got cracks, and it's got this, and it hadn't been kept up. So it needs to be sold, you know, to the developer. Everybody's getting kickbacks off all this stuff. You know, if some building becomes available for somebody to buy it and make a lot of money out of it, all of a sudden it's no good. That's just an excuse that they use over and over and over. Well, this building's old. The maintenance hasn't been kept up. It's no good. We need to tear it down. But then all of a sudden everybody makes a whole lot of money out of it. And, you know, that's what it's about, just about the money.
Okay, yeah, so I was looking into that historic preservation angle. Kind of seems to be smart, except for the fact that, one, there's layers of it. The city of Dallas has their own landmark designation commission, but there is national versions of that, and there's state versions of that. So I don't think we're stuck with just the Dallas people. Does anyone know anyone in Austin that could pull this off? Thank you very much, Gary, in Newark. Yeah, it's a curious thing, because when the old Forest Theater on Martin Luther King, you know, was getting old and dilapidated, they're like, we can't tear this down. This was built in 1949. It's a theater. It doesn't even do anything. We don't even go to theaters anymore. No, we had to spend taxpayer dollars to renovate that. We couldn't tear that down. Couldn't turn that up. Couldn't build a Star Stadium there or a Maverick Stadium there, whatever, casino, whatever they want to do. No, but this building is jeepers, 1978. I don't know if we can rehabilitate a building that old. I don't know if we can get any kind of use out of something that's 47 years old. I mean, that's forever in building years. Something's up. It stinks. I don't like it. There's something going on, and it's corrupt, and you know it. I guarantee you 100% this study, which we're supposed to get the results for in February 2026. If it comes in on time, there's a 100% chance it's going to say, oh, it would be so good for the city if we did what most of the people on the city council voted to have us study. You know, the people that are paying for the study have an incredible record of getting the results they want. You know, whether it's whether or not we demolish City Hall or whether or not we build the whitewater rapids on the Trinity River in downtown Dallas, or whether or not, we need to build a new dart track or something. Every time comes in just the way. Global warming scientists. So it's a terrible idea. They're going to study it. The study is just a bogus veil, because in your experience, every time you've seen this study, it comes back and, oh, yeah, see, this is what's going to be used against you now. This is what they're going to say. Well, the study says this isn't what I want to do. The study says this would be good for Dallas. If you don't support this, I guess you don't like Dallas. I guess you don't know what's good for Dallas, or you don't want what's good for Dallas. Oh, shut up. Just stop it. This is a terrible idea. The building's fine. It's only 47 years old. If y'all hadn't been keeping up with it, then somebody needs to go to jail. But we don't need to demolish it. It's just a terrible idea from every single angle. I don't buy it. Back to the phones. Jeff, Itasca, you're on WBAP.
Well, James, I've got some insight about the City Hall that will rock most people's boats. I was involved with the City of Dallas in that building 20 years ago on a project that everybody involved with the city at that time should be locked up and put in jail, including the mayor, the council, their architect, their energy manager at the time. But the City of Dallas got ripped off by a company in 2004 to renovate the complete mechanical system in the building, and it was a disaster from the get-go. And the City of Dallas and their people went along with this company, which I resigned for. I worked for the company. I was involved with the project as a mechanical lead person on that renovation, and I resigned because of what was going on with the company. But the City of Dallas themselves have the most incompetent people in this stuff than any city and government entity I've ever worked with. But what's going on, like you said, is a total sham. It's a cover-up, and the people involved are only out to make money. But that what happened in 2004 and the money they spent then, everybody involved at that time should have gone to jail.
Yeah, I figured something like that. I don't even have to know the details to know that if it really is true that the building's so dilapidated and the maintenance has been so neglected that it's better off torn down, then people need to go to jail for neglecting it. Then people need to go to jail for not doing the upkeep, or for saying they did the upkeep, but they just filled out a piece of paper, got their check, and they let it rot. Did y'all really just let this building rot in front of your face over the last 47 years? Well, then go to the maintenance manager, whoever's in charge. Someone has to be in charge of that building. Jail time for these people. That's fraud. That's theft of taxpayer dollars. If you take the money but you don't perform the service, that's theft. So either someone needs to go to jail or they're lying about the condition of the building. Might be a little of both. Brian in Farmers Branch, you're on WBAP.
Hey, James. I just want to say they just want to put up a sports complex or something to make a bunch of money. They forget one thing. That building is a damn landmark. Everybody forget about, RoboCop.
Yeah, I remember it was using RoboCop. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah. I mean, the building still looks cool. This is just fix what it needs. You can get masons in there to do everything. You get electricians to do everything. Well, you already own the building.
I am interested to see what happens. How are they going to tell you that it's cheaper to tear down this gigantic building and build a new one to replace it? How would it be cheaper to do that than just repair the existing one? I can't wait to see the mental gymnastics that they're going to put themselves through for that.
Well, it's the architect is the guy who designed the Triangle building over in the Louvre in Paris. So
yeah, IMP or whatever his name is.
Talking about whatever.
Well, we've got a couple of great blank spaces over by Reunion Tower and the where they're building the convention center. There's places to put a stadium already.
Leave the landmark alone.
Even if we do have to tear down a building, one of the last ones we should tear down is Dallas City Hall to build a stadium. I mean, look at all the just wasted space in downtown. Like, I don't want to tear down the big green building, the Bank of America Tower, the Renaissance Tower, or Capital One building or anything like that. But there's plenty of better spaces for us to put a stadium way before we get to demolishing City Hall. This is Gideon in Dallas. You're on WBAP.
Hey, I just wanted to mention, I don't think it would cost $300 million to repair the building. Considering it costs about $75 million in 1978, are you telling me that it's going to cost $300 million to do some modest repairs based on what they're describing. I think that's a crooked number.
Absolutely. Well, who was that? Was it Mendelson? One of the other city councilmen, when they were having a meeting about this a couple weeks ago, she pointed out that they did a study that was similar to this during COVID. So 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. And they estimated that they would need $100 million to get everything up to par. That was 5 years ago. And how is that estimate tripled in the last 3 years? I don't know. How much did it cost in 1978? What would you say the full cost of $78 million?
Yeah, about $78 million.
All right, $78 million.
State-of-the-art at the time.
All right, so in 1978 dollars, that would be $388 million in 2025 dollars. So it'd be about the same as just building it from scratch. Rehabbing it, yeah, that doesn't sound right. I enjoy your skepticism, Gideon. You made a great point, and I did not know that original number. So $78 million. Thank you very much, sir. Good stuff.
The James Show Podcast.